station, this is Houston. Are you ready for the event?
Houston, this is the space station. Ready for the event.
Houston ACR, this is Mission Control Houston. Please call station for a voice check.
Station, this is Houston ACR. How do you hear me?
Houston ACR, loud and clear.
Welcome, Girl Scouts. I'm Sylvia Acevedo. Today we have the great opportunity to ask astronaut Chris Cassidy questions. Chris is up at the space station. You know, I love space and science thanks to Girl Scouts. And because of that, I became a rocket scientist and I worked at NASA's Jet Propulsion Labs on a couple of missions. We now have many space science badges for girls in Girl Scouts. So I hope you're taking advantage of them. That'll be your path to the stars. Now, let's go to our first question.
Hi, my name is Izzy. I live in Austin, Texas. My question for the astronaut is how many countries contributed to the construction of the ISS?
Hi, Izzy. Well, it certainly is an international partnership, and it's comprised of 5 space agencies. NASA from the United States, Roscosmos from Russia, JAXA, which is a Japanese space agency, the Canadian Space Agency, and the European Space Agency. And the European Space Agency has 11 member nations, so that's who is part of the International Space Station.
Hi, my name is Lila, and I am from California. My question is, how many people could be at the space station at once?
Well, we have bedrooms for 6 astronauts or cosmonauts on board here. But just like when you have a sleepover, you can pile more people into your house than you have bedrooms for. And we've done that in the past. On my very first mission, when I came up on a space shuttle, we had 7 crew members, and there were already 6 here. So I was on board for 2 weeks with 13 astronauts and cosmonauts on board the space station. That was a little crowded. And just recently, we had 5 of us with my friends Bob and Doug arriving from the SpaceX spacecraft. But right now, there's only 3 of us. So we can have a whole host of anywhere between 3 or 13, but most comfortably, the number is 6.
Hi, my name's Kinsley from Indiana. My question is, have you seen meteors from the ISS?
You know, we can, and we have, and just recently, the NEOWISE, we were able to see that about 2 weeks ago, I think, and that was super cool to see. You could see it with our naked eye, but with a nice camera, you could really bring it into focus. Right as the space station was going on sunrise and sunset.
Hi, my name is Lucy and I'm from North Carolina. My question is, what's your favorite piece of research that you've done on the space station? Thanks!
Oh, thanks for that question, because that is our primary job up here, is to help contribute to the scientific effort and push the research. And there's lots of cool ones. Our bodies are a part of a lot of the studies. We have to give blood and urine and other types of bodily samples for different types of studies. But one that is very hands-on that I did just last week was trying to identify microbial growth on board the space station. We don't want that. And in the past, we've had to take samples and send it to the ground and have it analyzed, and months later, we'd find out the answer. With this new experiment I was just working on, we were taking the DNA basically from the samples and trying to recognize it, and we get an answer within 24 hours on board. And it was really neat for me. I'd never done that level of science with pipettes and mixing different fluids, and I thought it was a lot of fun and very practical for us.
Hi, I'm Heather and I'm from New Jersey. My question is, what, if any, of the work you're doing on the ISS will help future manned missions?
That's a great question, because in addition to the scientific research we're doing, we're also doing sort of engineering testbed studies for life beyond low Earth orbit in a spacecraft. And in my opinion, the most important thing is the life support system that we really have we're dialing the knobs to a really fine-tuning it these days. We recycle about 90% of our water, and that is sweaty T-shirts from exercising, drying up, and reclaiming that moisture in the air conditioning system, even including when we pee. We go to the bathroom, that urine goes into the urine transfer system, and it goes through a process and comes out as pure water. This is essential for us taking life outside of low Earth orbit, going back to the moon and ultimately onto Mars. And the reliability factor that we've increased by having these systems on board the space station is really going to set us up for success when you go to Mars.
Hi, my name is Nicole, and I'm from Oregon. My question is, what do astronauts do during their free time in space?
Well, that's a good question, because we do lots of stuff. But in general, I try to do things that I can't do on Earth, like maybe a flip or some kind of crazy motion that you can't necessarily do in your living room. But we also have normal things, like we can watch a movie, we can read a book, we can play musical instruments if you're so inclined. But my most favorite thing to do is look out the window and just watch Earth go by, because it's so pretty to watch our beautiful planet underneath us every minute we can.
Hi, my name is Camilla, and I'm from Texas, and my question is, how do astronauts exercise in space?
Oh, that's a good question, Camilla. We have several different ways to do that. We have a treadmill, a bicycle, and a weight machine. And the most common question is, a weight machine? That's crazy. You're in weightlessness. How do you have a weight machine? Well, we have this, it's a cylinder, a metal cylinder with a piston rod inside, and we can crank this piston up and down inside the cylinder to squish the air or release the air a little bit, and that gives us different levels of resistance, and that piston is hooked up to a bar, and we can use that bar to do different types of exercises depending on how we set it up. The treadmill is just like a normal treadmill. However, we need to stay fixed to the floor, and we do that with wearing a harness, and we take bungee cords and go from our hips to the floor of the treadmill, and that's what keeps us there. And the bicycle is the same as you would imagine, except there's no seat and there's no handlebars. We just clip our feet into pedals and crank away. And those are our primary means of staying fit up here, but more importantly, keeping our bones healthy. Exercise is the #1 thing we can do to keep our bones nice and strong while we're here for 6 months.
Hi, my name is Madison, and I'm from Texas. My question is, how do astronauts eat food in space?
Oh, Madison, that's a question right up my alley, because I like to eat a lot. And I have some samples here. This is what I'm going to eat later on today. This is mango salad that I just added water to. Doesn't look too appetizing, but let me tell you, it's pretty tasty. And we have a different type of packaging. This is already no water needed. We just can warm it up. We have a little food warmer, and this happens to be tomato basil soup, which is another one of my favorite things to eat up here. And for drinking water or fluids, this is tea. We have this little straw that goes into our beverages, just like a Capri Sun, and we can squeeze out a little bit. And gobble it right up. So it's pretty easy, actually, to eat in space.
Hi, my name is Jamie, and I live in New Jersey. My question is, while I do not want to be an astronaut, I'm very interested in working for NASA or SpaceX in a scientific capacity. What area of study would you advise a future college student to pursue in order to increase her chances of having the opportunity to work at one of these organizations?
Well, that's a great question, and I'm super excited to hear your enthusiasm for that line of work. I will tell you that aerospace companies, just like NASA, have opportunities in many, many different fields. So your choice is not just limited to one thing. I will tell you, though, very specifically, if you're looking to contribute in a technical fashion, I would suggest some type of engineering or physics, math type of major. I'm a little biased towards that. I have an engineering way of thinking, and it's been very difficult for me to learn the Russian language, for example, that I have to speak with my cosmonaut crewmates. So that part of my brain doesn't work as well as the engineering side of it. But I think that if you pursue engineering as a course of study, you'll have opportunities that are endless throughout the course of your professional life, whether it be an aerospace company or if you choose to venture off into business. The critical thinking and problem-solving aspect of your core studies will be beneficial throughout your professional life.
Hi, my name is Zoe. I'm from Illinois, and my question is, who was your biggest role model growing up?
Oh, so I grew up in a small town in Maine. We lived close to Boston, and I was a big sports fan, and I liked the Boston Celtics very much. And so I would say the Celtics as a team were my biggest role model. They had some great players, and Larry Bird was one of them. But I really enjoyed, even as a young person, I understood the value of working together as a team to accomplish, whether it's a sports victory or a mission objective in space, or a goal in a business sense, or with your family. Working together, hearing each other, taking input, learning from each other, contributing what your role is I think that a thing that I got the most out of watching the Boston Celtics when I was a really little guy.
Hi, my name is Ellie from Texas, and my question is, what's your favorite planet besides Earth?
Oh, you had to throw there the besides Earth in there, because Earth is my favorite planet, no question. But I think my second one would have to be Mars, because I'm very fascinated with our agency, NASA's goal to get there. And I think it's very, very exciting that I could be working with somebody right now, one of our newer, younger astronauts that might walk on Mars. And if not one of them, could be one of you guys that I'm talking to. And to see those pictures come back from the rovers that we have, and we have a new rover on its way that is even more advanced, though that's very exciting. And I think that it's something that all of us in the space business, it's sort of an international community, we're all anxious to see the missions progress towards Mars.
Hi, my name's Autumn. I'm from Wisconsin, and my question is, I want to know what's like floating in space. Thank you.
I think you said, what's it like floating in space? Ah, yeah. What's it like floating in space? Well, it's very easy. You can just, it doesn't take much effort to control yourself, but you learn quickly that however hard you push off is how hard you're going to crash into the wall on the other side. So you learn to control this concept of momentum. And that's a subject you'll learn later in your school years, and I did as well. But when I got here, it really crystallizes the concept of momentum, and really controlling your movements and not being all gangly when you first arrive and it's your first mission. you don't know how to do this, kind of like when you're learning to ride a bicycle and it's very awkward, and you think, how am I going to get smooth and efficient at this? But you do, and then you don't even think about it as you float through the space station now.
Hi, my name is Autumn, and I'm from the state of California. And here's my question. I wonder if you could blow bubbles in the space or in the space station.
In the space station inside, right here where I'm talking to you from, we keep the atmosphere, the pressure inside the skin of the ship to be just like it is at sea level back on Earth. And so we can blow bubbles, we can chew gum, I could blow a bubble gum bubble, no problem. I would not be able to do that outside the space station. For one, I couldn't be there without my suit on, and the suit is keeping me alive. But inside that space suit is just like inside here, and we could blow bubbles, but not outside the space suit.
Hello, my name is Artemis Stellar, and I'm from California. My question is, have you ever seen or heard anything in space that couldn't be explained at the time with science?
Oh, that's an interesting question. Thank you for that. I have not yet seen anything that has been unexplainable with science. And I'm about halfway through this mission of 6 months, so I've lived in space for about a total of 9 months in my life. And everything I've observed and my crewmates have observed is something that has an answer based in science.
Hi, my name is Bessie. I'm from California. And I have a really big question. How many stars are there in the galaxy?
Oh my goodness, there's so many. But to get that answer is a challenge. Scientists, from what I understand, I'm not a planetary scientist, but as I understand it, one method to find this answer is to estimate the mass of our galaxy, and there's different ways to do that, but the estimates on the number of stars, from what I have heard, is somewhere between 100 million and 250 million stars in the Milky Way. Way more than that if you look all throughout the universe, but that's a number that we'll never be able to estimate.
Hi, my name is Palmer, and I'm from Kansas. And my question is, has an astronaut ever walked on Pluto before?
No, Pluto has not seen an astronaut yet, and I think it'll be a long time before there's a chance of an astronaut getting close to Pluto. The next place besides Earth and the Moon that we might send an astronaut is Mars, and so that's where we're focusing our efforts.
Hi, my name is Mary Clark, and I am from Illinois. My question is, can we take technology from the Mars rover and reprogram it to land a spaceship with an astronaut in it on Mars?
Oh, Mary, you sound like a future engineer. What can we learn from those robotic missions for manned missions on Mars? A lot. And we certainly will take the lessons learned from our robotic missions and apply them to the engineering basis for our manned missions. Turns out it's not exactly the same needs, so I don't think it's a take robot out, put person in, and hit launch. Not quite that simple, but definitely the things we've learned can accelerate the way we design a manned mission to Mars? That's a great question.
Thank you, Commander Cassidy, for answering questions from us Girl Scouts. My name is Kylie. I'm a Girl Scout senior from Central Texas, leader of a Girl Scout astronomy club, and hope to become a planetary scientist. We appreciate the time you spent with us today and wish you the best for the remainder of your mission. And thank you, Girl Scouts, for joining us. Don't forget to check out the Space Scientist badges and continue exploring.
Thanks very much for joining me today. Take care and best of luck.
Station, this is Houston ACR. That concludes our event as we count down to 20 continuous years of humans living and working on the International Space Station. Thank you.
Thank you to all the participants from the Girl Scouts of the USA. Station, we are now resuming operational audio communications.